Shadow of the Colossus is one of my favorite games of all time, and there's definitely a heart in this movie that is one from that game.
So this is your first hunt. And you've come to the most dangerous planet in the universe.
I will tell you, the first instinct that we have initial treatments of was always that he was going to be the runt of the litter. But he was, I cannot believe I'm just remembering this, he was blind. And I was sort of thinking of Blind Fury or Book of Eli and you know, the Blind Samurai, or Daredevil even. And though he was blind and seen as the runt, he, you know, developed extrasensory things, and he had a different, I even have previs for some of this stuff where he had a mask that was just over his eyes, that wasn't covering his full face, and it allowed him to use echolocation. It allowed him to use the clicks to like see, so to speak, where things were. He was going to lose that mask and have to overcome that and all of that. And then what happened was I started to realize, I love it when the audience feels linked to the main character and we're going to this new planet. And to take advantage of that characteristic of his, I really felt compelled, as I was sort of coming up with how we would shoot certain things, felt compelled to do stuff that would make you feel like you're not seeing also what he's not seeing. But that was really fighting against, we're going to this new crazy planet together, and then we're not gonna be able to like experience it and see it. And so that forced us to start to think of like, okay, what if it's not the blind thing? What if there's just this other, and it really just became size and stature in the clan, that kind of thing. He was in a full body suit, just with an open cowl, and he wore contacts. And so the facial performance is almost entirely digital. It's driven by Demetrius, but then of course, took a lot of VFX artistry to translate what he was doing into a face that has mandibles in it and things that are very unhuman-like. And yeah, it was the first time we ever did this in the Predator franchise. Because Prey was such a back to basics exercise, it was, what if we, the Predator franchise has become so many different things theatrically over the years, and I wanted to make something with Prey that was back to the original form of the '87 movie, yet also was a new feeling experience. And I tend to be drawn to finding a more unique protagonist for something. And so since Prey was so, here is that traditional Predator tale again, just through a different lens. This then became, what if it were something that you hadn't experienced before, but with the Predator as a protagonist? And yeah, that really was the launching off point, was like, you've had this experience, you've now had it a number of times, and then knowing I was gonna make Killer of Killers as well, which is like tripling down on Predator, you know? As we know and love it, made me all the more want to make something far more unexpected that the franchise hadn't done, and even science fiction hadn't done. We hadn't, in all the franchises that we've had, and all the reasons we've gone to the theaters, we've never really had a creature as the lead of a movie.
I could help you.
I think there's Shadow of the Colossus is one of my favorite games of all time, and there's definitely a heart in this movie that is one from that game as well. There's a bit of Monster Hunter, which is a franchise that I dip in and out of, and even the idea of having the buddy tethered to him comes from things like what the reboot of Prince of Persia, that then influenced Uncharted and Last of Us and all that kind of mechanic. There's also a game called Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. It's like one of the most incredible experiences ever. That where you're using two thumbsticks, each a different character, and it's really challenging in the beginning. And then as you get better, they bond to each other more. And anyway, that whole experience is kind of like this movie, and so yeah.
The ending of Brothers, I won't say
yeah.
it, but it's devastating because you're so used to the certain mechanic.
Yes. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
I think 2011 you made a Portal fan film.
Yeah.
Like, and I know at one point you were attached to like an Uncharted film. Are there any like games that you'd like to adapt into a feature film or work on to some degree?
I don't have any. I think for a while I was big into Dark Souls, and at one point I was thinking there would be an unexpected movie in that. I'm definitely drawn to the things that are not obvious and trying to make them in a way that actually does come off as, oh, that's of course, But I think Elden Ring is now who's doing that?
Alex Garland.
Yeah, Alex Garland, exactly. I was like Alex Machina. That's not right. But anyway, so yeah, if I were to do something, it would want to be a game that would allow for a kind of movie that no one has seen before. Yeah.
There needs to be a Badlands game.
I agree with that.
Get it in.
Yeah, the inverse of this conversation of like, let's get a Badlands game. I want to play it as well.
Obviously, you've done Prey, Killer of Killers, Badlands. Do you have like an idea of like other stuff you want to do, whether they're sequels, new things, like Cooking Away?
Yep.
That answers that.
Yep.